So now we're going to start wiring our motors to our board. First, let's notice this longer ribbon with two connectors very close to each other. Let's take the long one that's by itself first, and let's install it in the bottom stepper motor near your power source. Notice that the wires, when you can see them, that's how we will install them facing down. We want these facing down. Okay, now we take the remaining two to the other side. Again, the wires facing down. Install into there. Now we're going to take the longer of our three remaining wires. Notice the longer and the shorter one. We want to take the longer piece, and we will take the wires facing in, install them in our extruder stepper motor, and leave the wire over here. Take one of our remaining two wires. Again, notice the smaller and larger heads. For this one, facing in like this, we'll connect to this extruder here, this stepper driver. There. And our last stepper driver wires, again, notice our wires here. These will face in like this. There. Now we've got all of our stepper wires ready to be wired. Now we've got our hotbed wires. We are going to see our exposed things. We want them facing up, and we will connect into the bed like this. Bring our wires around here. For our power source wiring, we are going to first pull the pieces apart like this, about an inch or so, like that. Now we're going to take our clippers, being very careful not to cut too much. Just squeeze a little bit, turn, squeeze a little bit, turn, pull, and you have a wire. One more time. So now we're going to start doing some of the wiring for our power source. We're going to connect the red wire to the V+ and the black wire to the COM. So first, let's connect our red wire. After you have inserted your wire, tightly screw the screw in place like this. And now our black wire to the COM. Insert your wire fully into the hole and tighten. Check to make sure that you have a secure connection like this. So now we're going to install our power cord here. You'll notice on one end we've got our standard outlet plug, and on the other end we've got a red and a blue wire. Now we'll take our blue wire and we are connecting that to N. We are taking our red wire and connecting that to L. First, connect the blue wire, and secondly, N to your red wire, L to your red wire. Check for a secure fit, and so now we have our PCB board assembled and fastened to our printer. We've got our hookups for our X, Y, and Z axis stepper motors and our extruder. So let's go ahead and connect those right now, okay? Here is our X axis assembly. This is, X axis. And this is going to go in your board like that, okay? Next we have our Y axis assembly stepper motor. This is down here. You're going to take this with the wires facing in towards the board and connect that there. Third is your Z axis assembly. That is this one here. Take this, notice the wires facing in, and connect to your board. Finally, we have our extruder motor. This one is going in, facing that way to here. Now we are going to do our end stops. Here is our X end stop. That one is here. We have our X axis end stop. We are going to connect to X minus or X plus. X minus. There. Our Y axis end stop, which is nowhere to be found. Here is our Y axis end stop. We are taking this, run it towards the back of your printer, and install it here. And lastly, we have our Z axis end stop, which is here. And this one is connected to the last of your end stop pieces. Now we are taking our hot end thermistor. We are going to insert it into A13, the first of the thermistor slots on your board. Next, we are going to take the hotbed thermistor. It is inserted into the A14 position on your board. There. Finally, we have our XP1 assembly kit. We want to install in the XP1 position. Notice the ribbon is facing down. And then we are taking our XP2. Notice the position of the wire. Like that. Okay, so now we're going to wire our extruder setup for the most part. First, we're going to take the two red wires connected to our hot end. These will be connected to E0, and it does not matter which one goes into which side. So let's connect those. There. Next, we're going to connect our fan, our 50 millimeter blower fan. We have our black negative wire and our red positive wire. Be careful to see where the negative and positives are. Remember, black is negative, red is positive. So let's connect these. Next, we're going to connect our bed, our hot bed. Again, our black is our negative, and our yellow here, in this case, is our positive. So, your wires should connect in this orientation. Black connecting to the left side, the right side. And yellow connecting to the left side. Finally, we are going to connect our power source. We will take our power and our 40 millimeter diameter heat sink fan, and we are going to connect black with our black, like this. Put the wires together and then twist. Then we will take our red wire from our heat sink fan, connect it, and twist. So for our power source, we're going to connect our... So here in our first slot, we have our negative power source with our heat sink fan and our black power source cables. In the second power source, we've got our red heat sink fan cable and our red power source cable. Next, we have our bed with the positive yellow cable going to our heated bed and our negative black cable